Okay, hello everybody. Welcome back to the digital program for NMU Day of Giving, our first ever digital program for NMU Day of Giving. We hope that you're wearing your green and gold and ready to come together to support NMU and celebrate your Wildcat Pride with us. In case you weren't here for our coffee chat this morning, my name is Kylie Bunting. I'm a 2011 NMU grad and also currently the Digital Engagement Architect for Alumni Relations.
Hello, and I'm your other NMU Day of Giving host. My name is Andy Hill. I'm a 2003 NMU graduate, and I am the current Associate Director of Annual Giving for the NMU Foundation. And as I said, we're going to be your hosts for today and throughout the evening. The one thing I do want to make sure is to give a big special thank you to our Day of Giving partners. They have provided great leadership in our Day of Giving efforts this year and really expanded our ability to inspire and motivate others to participate in today's Day of Giving initiative. Those are Stevenson National Bank and Trust, TV6, Morgan Stanley, Jabara and Rogers Group, and Upper Peninsula Health Plan.
And we're really excited to have you here today for our next check-in with students and staff from the NMU Food Pantry and also to share some great news with you. But first, we just want to go over some logistics for this portion of the program. While we cannot see or hear you during this webinar format, we do want to hear from you. So please use the Q&A function to ask questions for our guests, Haley and Tyler. And we'll be monitoring that throughout the entire program, so send any questions through there. You can also use the chat function to talk amongst yourselves. So share your grad year, where you're tuning in from, tell us some great stories about ways that you've given back to NMU in the past. One note about the chat feature as well is that there's a drop-down menu there, and it is set to all panelists. And you'll want to change that to all panelists and attendees. So not only we can see what you're saying, but also people who are also tuning in.
And as we said, Kylie and I are going to be with you throughout the day, giving you exclusive interviews from NMU faculty, staff, and students to share all the exciting updates and giving goals that we have for you. To join us, there's just one easy click. We have one Zoom link for you to enter and use for the whole day. So feel free to come and go as you please and join us for any and all of the program highlights.
And also don't forget to follow us on social media, the Alumni Association on social media, so you can find real-time updates to what's going on, seeing where our Day of Giving milestones and goals are. You can also see some student and donor impact stories, videos, and things like that. Be sure to use the hashtags NMU Day of Giving, NMU Grow Wild, and Cats Care as you're posting your photos wearing your green and gold or telling your stories of how you're giving back. So yes, I will move on. Andy, go for it.
Yeah, I wanted to give some updates here on how we are doing so far on our Day of Giving. A few of them I'm going to hold off because I think when we start chatting with Haley and Tyler, it'll be exciting to talk about some of the things that have already happened and some of the great work that even our NMU students are doing for the pantry. So Day of Giving is off to a great start. There are two important gift challenges that I wanted to make sure that people are aware of. One's for the Bear Center. So we have, thanks to Morgan Stanley, Jabara and Rogers, and the Stevenson's National Bank and Trust, we have a $5,000 unlock challenge. So if we can get 25 people to donate today, we'll get an additional $5,000 for the Bear Center. On top of that, the university, NMU, is making a pledge of $10,000 as a match for general scholarship. So that means every dollar that's given today will be matched dollar for dollar up to $10,000. So those are two exciting ways that you can give today and have your dollars go even a little bit further.
Great. Well, now we are excited to welcome Assistant Dean of Students and Food Pantry Advisor Haley Rhoades and NMU student Tyler Davis. The NMU Food Pantry is encouraging alumni and friends to donate cash instead of canned items this year. Now more than ever, our NMU students need our help to be sure their basic needs are met so they can focus on learning. So Haley, Tyler, welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah,
I'm
thank
wearing
you.
my green and gold.
Perfect. Yep, we're all showing our Wildcat pride. Awesome. Well, we're really excited to have you here, and I know we've got some really exciting things to share with everybody right now as well. But to start us off, and also don't forget, if you have any questions for Haley and Tyler anytime during this, throw them in the Q&A, and we'll be sure to keep an eye on that. But Haley, do you want to start out by just giving us a little bit of a background on the food pantry?
Yeah, definitely. So a few years ago, the university put a survey out to campus and asked students about food insecurity. What the outcome of the survey told us was that more students than we were expecting were either experiencing food insecurity or knew of someone that was experiencing food insecurity. After the survey went out, there was overwhelming support to open a food pantry, which happened in the fall of 2017. And since the fall of 2017, the number of students who are using the food pantry have grown, and the amount of food and resources that we have available has grown. It's located right above the health center, which is in Grease Hall. So folks who attended before 1995 would know Grease Hall as a former residence hall. In 1995, it was converted to administrative offices, and now we're fortunate to be able to use some of the office space to host the food pantry. And what we do is students who come to the food pantry are greeted by students, the student interns who are with us from the Student Leader Fellowship Program. And then students may shop at the food pantry once a week, and we have food, we have personal care items, we have dishes, and all sorts of stuff. And once students use the food pantry, they learn about how approachable it is and how it reduces some of their burden to help them be more successful students. So we're excited to be able to continue to help students.
Great, thank you so much. And then a couple of things too that we have some really exciting updates, two exciting updates to talk about. So I'll let you both kind of talk about the Dining Dollars initiative first and share the exciting update we have there.
Yes, so this semester we had an opportunity to work with NMU Dining Services and the residence hall students. And what we did is we put a challenge out to NMU students to share their dining dollars. So dining dollars are part of a standard meal plan. The students can typically use dining dollars to buy a coffee drink at Starbucks or a food item at one of the non-dining hall facilities. And sometimes students have extra dining dollars. And it happened that we put the call out to students to share their dining dollars with the food pantry, and holy smokes, they've been sharing their dining dollars with wild abandon. So this morning we ran a report, and we're thrilled to share that 128 students have shared over $5,000 of dining dollars. So
wow.
What that means is NMU Dining Services will use their buying power to purchase items in bulk in order to help out stocking the food pantry. This is way more than we were expecting, and I'm speaking for everyone at the food pantry. And Tyler, I know that when I shared the news with you, you were just probably overwhelmed. So
It was insane, especially for this being our very first year doing it. We're like, we won't really set any expectations. We'll be happy with whatever engagement we get, but this was insane.
it just really shows how much the current students care about other people. when they have extra, they're willing to share it with other folks. So it feels really good.
Yeah, I agree, Haley. When you had shared that amount with us, it was really such a wonderful story to put out there, and just a great way that our student body is participating in Day of Giving, getting into the spirit, and really showing all of us what it means to be a Wildcat. We come here for our own education, but there's really so many opportunities to expand that, and day giving is one way of giving back. So from our side, we really want to thank Dining Services for allowing that opportunity to happen, and a huge thank you to our NMU students for really taking the challenge and participating in the way that they did. The other exciting announcement too is that we did have a match that the Upper Peninsula Health Plan made. It was $750. So every dollar that was made today would be matched 1-to-1. And we've already exceeded that match. So we're over $800 that has been designated to the food pantry today. And we do, for our counting, we've been counting gifts since November 1. So November 1 is really our kickoff to Day of Giving. And so far we have over $3,000 given to the food pantry. I still haven't had a chance to check the mail and see what's coming in. And more gifts have been rolling in. So the support that's been given to the food pantry has been amazing. It's been amazing to see that over the years grow and grow. So my challenge to those who are listening and watching, students gave over 5,000. We got to make sure that we can match or exceed that too. So we're taking gifts all the way to the end of the day. So please think about the food pantry as you're looking to make your Day of Giving gift.
Yeah, in a normal year, we would be hosting different can drives throughout the semester. With the football team, they do a program called Tackling Hunger, where they encourage fans to bring food items to the football game. There's an infamous program on campus called Food for Fines, where people can pay a parking ticket with donated food items. We usually get quite a few donations from parking services with that program. And then in a typical year, for the Day of Giving, we would be scurrying around campus with a double-decker shopping cart, going into every single department and office and collecting grocery bags that are filled and overfilled by faculty and staff and members of the NMU and Marquette community. And we would haul those items back to the food pantry, make a gigantic pile, and then start counting. This year, what we're doing, as you said earlier, was a different mode of program called Cash Over Cans, where we're going to do the shopping for you. What we ultimately want people to do is stay home and stay safe. So limit the amount of going out into the community, of going to grocery stores. And what we've been able to do is work closely with managers of local grocery stores and make bulk purchases with the donated cash, so that we can buy the most needed items and limit the amount of shopping that people are doing. We love the awesome random donations, but this year we're going to stick with this system to keep people safe.
Awesome. And Haley, how many students on average use the food pantry each year?
Yeah, typically we see about 1,300 visits to the food pantry. What that means is we have generally about 300 students that complete an application each year. Some may visit the food pantry once or twice because they have a need for a certain period of time, where others we get to know better because they need our help a little bit more. So as we get to know them, we we learn more about what they need, make sure that we have those items, and then we really cheer when they graduate. So this semester we just wrapped up our food pantry season, loaded people up for the winter break, and one gal who visits the food pantry on a regular basis said, "Oh my gosh, this is the last time I'm going to visit because I'm graduating." She's been student teaching this semester in the Marquette schools, and it's exciting to hear her next plan of giving back to the community through teaching. So
That's great. Tyler, from your perspective, what is it like being part of the food pantry? What does it mean to campus, and how does that, how does that make you feel proud of NMU students and the community?
Yeah, it's so exciting. It's one of those things that you might hear mentioned during orientation or at some point in your first 2 years on campus, because that's what I've noticed is your first 2 years, most people are in the dorms. They have the dining hall. Most people still have meal plans. So you don't really think of the food pantry then. But now I'm a junior this year. So I've started using the food pantry, but to be there each week to see how many new people we come in to use it and just so excited that this option is there for them is so exciting. And like the thing that so I'm interning with the food pantry through SLFP, like Haley said earlier. And the other two people from SLFP with me are Courtney Stone and Hannah. I forgot her last name. What was that?
Jaworski.
Yes, thank you. They're fantastic and we have so much fun, but our whole thing that we were talking about this, he was like, how do we get more people to know about it? Because like we got $5,000 from this donation, but it's still only 128 people who donate. So that's just so many more people that we know that the food pantry can reach out to, get connected with. And that's what we want to do. We want to make sure everyone at Northern knows about the food pantry, whether they need it or they just know about it so they can tell their friends about it. And we've definitely seen that growth this semester. So that's been amazing, but we just like that's going to be our mission next semester, and encouraging the next SLFP people who take our place to keep pushing it and just make sure everyone knows about it.
Yeah, that's awesome. And then Haley, you touched on this a little bit earlier, but obviously canned donations are amazing, and it's been a great thing to do previously, but due to circumstances, this cash over cans is what we've been pushing this year. And how is that, and how is that a little bit more helpful, I suppose, and how can those dollars be used? And just explain to viewers what your buying program looks like right now.
Definitely. So one of our main sources to stock the food pantry is our opportunity to buy through Feeding America. So Feeding America is a gigantic food bank, and because we are a nonprofit organization, we're able to purchase items in bulk from Feeding America. The Feeding America West Michigan semi truck drives up to the UP. I think every week. He has a north route and a south route. And what we do is we place an online order and we say we want 3 cases of walnuts. We'd like 2 cases of SpaghettiOs. And what the unique opportunity that we have with Feeding America is when we're buying walnuts, someone might be thinking, walnuts, they're so expensive. The walnuts that Feeding America has are from the USDA. So it's a USDA product that we're able to purchase at a significantly reduced rate. We're paying the freight to have these items transported from Grand Rapids up to Marquette. So a case of 24 pounds of walnuts may cost the food pantry $6. Whereas if the person were to go to the grocery store, they're going to Econo or Super One, and they wanted to donate walnuts to the food pantry, they may spend $6 on 1 bag of walnuts, where we can get 24 pounds of walnuts for that same financial contribution. So we're just through these different connections that we have, Feeding America, being able to buy in bulk from local grocery stores, buying programs with the Marquette Co-op, we're able to stock the food pantry a little bit further using the dollars that we have received through donations.
Amazing. That's cool. That really puts it in perspective when you say it that way. Just want to remind everybody watching too, if you have any questions for Haley or Tyler, throw them in the Q&A function and we'll be sure to ask them that. And then jumping into, we'll start with you, Haley, but what would you like to tell those food pantry donors? What's one, if you could tell them one thing, what would you like to say?
A lot of times I think people in the community have a perception that all college students have all sorts of resources. What we've learned through working with the food pantry is people have all sorts of strategies with paying for college. And sometimes there's a hiccup that happens. This year, a lot of students experienced a break in their employment because of COVID. So many students were employed in restaurants and bars, and when those closed, they had an unexpected disruption to their traditional income flow. So they were able to scoot into the food pantry, use it for a period of time, and then continue on in their education. I just want to make sure that people know that the students that are using the food pantry are unbelievably grateful. Some of them use it once, others use it several times, but each time that they come in, they're just so appreciative and they want to, at some point, be able to give back, just like folks that have contributed to the food pantry have already.
Awesome. Tyler, what would you like to say to those who have donated?
Yeah, thank you. It's not fair for me, Haley, Courtney, Hannah, to see just how excited people are the first time they walk in. It's just, some people just can't believe it that there's this much resource for them and it's completely free. But just thank you for making that possible for all the students. We've touched so many students' lives over the past years it's been open, but it's just like, with the growth we're seeing, we'll just be able to reach out to so many more. And it's all because of the people who are donating. And it's so exciting to see that. So thank you so much.
Awesome. We have one question coming in. First of all, Stephen Young wants to say thank you so much for all that you're doing. And then he's wondering what hours and days of the week the pantry is open.
Yeah, definitely. During the school year, we're open Tuesdays and Wednesdays from 4 until 6. And if a student can't make it during that time, they can reach out to the Dean of Students office where I work. And if I'm not available to walk over with a student at the time, there are other people who work in the office or are connected with the food pantry that can meet them when they can make it. But typically Tuesdays and Wednesdays, 4 until 6.
Awesome. Andy, any last minute thoughts or anything before we wrap up here?
I think we covered a lot here today, and I want to thank Haley and Tyler for joining us this afternoon to talk to us about the food pantry. I know one question that comes up, especially with COVID and the different restrictions and workarounds that are needed to be done for places of gathering. How are you, I guess, adjusting your operation for the coming semester? I know there's a little bit of an unknown, but what you do know now, how are students and also even members of the NMU community still able to access the services of the food pantry?
Since April of last year, we have been running both an online order form that is accessible through the Dean of Students webpage, and students can come in one at a time. So we restrict the number of people that can be in the food pantry when the university is operating under normal conditions. But the online order system, I think, seems to be really slick. So it's a Google form that gets sent to students who've used the food pantry on a weekly basis. Then Tyler and Courtney work like crazy to pack up the food orders on Tuesday. Wednesday afternoon, students can stop in at the food pantry, grab their orders, and head home. So we've been able to make it work, and really I think between March and August, we packed over 680 online orders. So that was when the university buildings were closed. We were able to continue to serve the campus population without interruption. That was really special.
That's great.
Yeah.
And well, I guess more of just an announcement, but Haley or Tyler can comment on the food pantry has been a really great opportunity to partner with the community. You have mentioned that local grocers and others have created ways for the pantry to get food and other items to our students. But talk about some of the I guess the unique fundraising opportunities that have also developed through relationships. So the TV6 Canathon is offering the pantry, and then also the Superior Health Foundation has been a partner as well. Talk about some of those connections that have been made over the years.
Yeah, it's really been fun to work with these different organizations. You mentioned Superior Health Foundation. They're doing a campaign today to support all 6 of the Upper Peninsula College and University food pantries. They have provided us with grant funding during the spring, where we were able to help with keeping the food pantry stocked during the stay-at-home order. The TV6 Canathon is such a fun time because in a normal year, there are gigantic boxes placed around campus. And what I think it does is it gives folks who are connected with NMU who live in the UP, so they might be living in Ontonagon or Calumet, and they've been connected with Northern and they want to give back. They can chip into the TV6 Canathon, or they can work with Superior Health Foundation and spread the donation across the UP College and University food pantries. It's just really special to hear about all of the places in the UP and in the Marquette area that really want to give back and help.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. It is, again, just seeing what the students have done with the dining dollars, the fact that at this moment today, we can announce that, over 5,000 has been given back. The $750 match from Upper Peninsula Superior Health has been matched. And then just the giving that we've seen so far, it's really great to show, to see how the NMU community is wanting to see our students succeed and make sure that they have access to these resources, because some of us can relate as former college students that things can be difficult. But especially now with COVID, there's so many unknowns, and the food pantry is just one way that we're looking to help our students stay focused, stay here on campus, and continue their education with as minimal disruptions as possible.
Hey, Tyler, what do you think the most popular items are in the food pantry?
Oh, I mean, mac and cheese, usually. But when we were getting all the fresh produce at the beginning of the semester, that would always go. People were so happy to have that. But yeah, I'd say really it'd be mac and cheese.
And toilet paper. Toilet paper.
Oh, that too.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Haley and Tyler. We really appreciate you joining us this afternoon and sharing this awesome news, and hopefully, teaching more people about what the food pantry is and all the help that you're doing. And it's really awesome to hear all of the things that are going on, and that student support too. I think that number's still sinking in, because I know, Haley, you just sent us that right before this program, and we're like, that's crazy. So it's just really cool, and we really appreciate you both being here to join us. And To all of you watching, thank you for tuning in for the second portion of our program. And in the meantime, we encourage you to pick your favorite campus department, program, or initiative. And remember, your dollars will go straight to those ideas and purposes that you're most passionate about. So make sure you visit nmu.edu/day of giving, and you can find all the information that you need there. So thank you again for joining us.
Yeah, and we will see you right back here at 2 o'clock for a check-in at the Bear Center with Director Jacob Dar. So again, as Kylie said, want to thank you all for joining in with us. I hope you learned something about the food pantry, and there's still time, if you haven't made your gift yet, to go to our site. We said it's nmu.edu/day-giving. A lot of great opportunities to help grow experiences and opportunities for our students here at NMU.
Thanks, everybody. See you at 2.